You're not going to believe what's sitting in front of the Patriots right now, because on the surface, it looks like routine late-season noise. But underneath it, the chessboard is moving. One quiet roster shuffle is basically a door cracking open for key returns. One uncomfortable superstar situation in the division is being floated in a way that makes you sit up straight. One under-the-radar veteran just proved he matters way more than the box score. And one catch had Patriots Nation doing that. Wait, did that just look like Moss? Double take. All right, now hit like if you want daily Patriots news in your feed, subscribe if you're new here, and drop a comment as we go. Would you rather this team pay top dollar for a proven game changer, or keep building the old school way and trust the draft? Here's the thing. In December, small moves don't exist. Not in Foxborough. Not when Week 18 is coming to Gillette Stadium, and every decision is basically a message to the locker room. The Patriots announced they released cornerback Miles Battle and offensive lineman Brendan Jimes from the active roster. And before anybody panics, this doesn't read like a clean break. It reads like a calculated shuffle, the kind you do when you're making room, not burning bridges. Both players are expected to be candidates to return via the practice squad if they clear waivers. Battle had been interim depth at corner and helped on special teams, and that matters when games get tight and field position turns into a weapon. Jimes was a body you could trust to handle the grind when the line got banged up. So why do this now? Because this looks like the front office clearing space for returns that actually change how you call a game. On defense, the name to watch is veteran Alex Austin, who's been on injured reserve since November 25th. When you're heading into a matchup where one or two coverage busts can flip a season, having an experienced corner available matters. It's not just one more guy, it's flexibility. It's being able to mix and match coverages, survive injuries, and not hand Miami free matchups on obvious passing downs. Be honest, how many times have we seen a December game swing because a team simply ran out of corners? And on offense, this is where Patriots fans are really leaning forward. The Jimes move can be read as a hint that starting left tackle Will Campbell is trending back. Campbell missed New England's last 4 games with an MCL sprain. If he's ready to go, it changes the entire feel of the offense. It changes the run game rhythm, it changes how long Drake Maye can hold the ball, and it changes what you can realistically call when the game gets tight. Think about that for a second. One tackle coming back can open up your third and long menu, your play action shots, and your ability to let your young QB actually breathe. And it's not like Battle and Jimes were random names. Battle originally entered the NFL as a rookie free agent with the Kansas City Chiefs in May 2024, out of Utah, got released after training camp, then New England brought him in and used him as needed. This season he played in 5 games and totaled 3 tackles. Jimes is a 5-year veteran who originally entered the league as a 5th-round pick by the Los Angeles Chargers in the 2021 draft out of Nebraska. Overall, he's played in 48 regular season games, with 3 starts at center in 2023, and he's seen postseason action too. That's why this move feels less like we're done with these guys, and more like we're about to activate something bigger. But there's still a wild card in all of this. Defensive tackle, Milton Williams. He's been on injured reserve since mid-November with an ankle injury. He was eligible to return before the Week 17 game against the Jets. The Patriots opened his 21-day return window, and he was a limited participant in practice, but he still wasn't activated. That can be caution, or it can be timing. Either way, it keeps the suspense alive, because a healthy interior presence is exactly how you squeeze quarterbacks in January and make red zone trips feel like walking through broken glass. So let me ask you, if Campbell and Austin are back and Williams is looming as that late punch, does it feel like this team is lining up to peak at the right time? Or are you still waiting on one more move that screams, we're ready to hunt? And speaking of hunting, Patriots Nation, heads up, because the Maxx Crosby name is in full off-season watch mode. Jay Glazer reported that Crosby isn't happy with the Raiders after being placed on IR and having his season shut down. And when a star that big is publicly uncomfortable, the whole league starts doing math. Let me say this, you don't have to love rumors to understand what they do. They create a market. They force conversations. They make teams pick a side between patience and aggression. Now, slow down before the internet runs away with it. There's no confirmation that the Patriots are already in talks. What we do have is the perfect setup for this to catch fire. Raiders headed toward a rebuild, Crosby frustrated, and a league where elite pass rushers don't just fall into your lap. And here's the part that matters for New England. The Patriots have the resources, and they have a very real need for impact off the edge. If you want a defense that closes games in January, you need a constant menace off the edge. Crosby is that guy. So the debate is real. If Crosby actually asks out and it turns into a full-on bidding war, do you pay a premium for a true game changer right now? Or do you keep stacking talent the slow way and trust your scouting? Because if that door opens, aggressive teams will line up. And the Patriots are exactly the kind of franchise that can jump into that fight if they decide the moment is right. That's why this talk sticks. It matches the need and the wallet. Now, while everyone's staring at splashy names, New England just got another reminder that role player is sometimes a lazy label. When the Patriots signed free agent wide receiver Mack Hollins, there wasn't much excitement from fans or the national media. He'd been a solid option for quarterbacks with the Bills, Falcons, and Raiders in recent years, but he wasn't the flashiest name or most productive weapon the team could have signed. And then he got on the field with Maye, and the conversation changed. Before suffering an abdominal injury against the Ravens in Week 16, Hollins recorded the second most receiving yards and catch percentage of his career. More importantly, he became an integral part of what the offense was trying to accomplish, especially when it came to big plays. So when the Patriots placed him on injured reserve right before the season ends, it understandably raised eyebrows. Like, why now? Why not squeeze every snap you can? Vrabel got asked about it after Sunday's win, and his answer told you exactly how this building sees Hollins. He didn't talk about him like a temporary piece. He talked about him like a culture piece. Vrabel said Hollins means a lot to this football team, his personality, his spirit, and that Hollins wanted to travel, be there, and support. He also pointed out how close Hollins has been with Efton Chisholm III, called it a fun mentorship, and said they'll need that from Hollins as they move forward. And Vrabel even made it clear he hopes Hollins can be back on the field if they make the AFC Championship game. That's not how you talk about somebody you're ready to move on from. That's how you talk about someone who matters in the locker room. If you're a young team trying to make a playoff run, that stuff isn't extra, it's oxygen. Experience, presence, accountability, especially when the games get tighter, the margin gets thinner, and the spotlight gets hotter. Which brings us to the moment that had Patriots fans grinning like kids again. One of the highlights of New England's 42-10 drubbing of the Jets was a specific Stefon Diggs catch that looked familiar in the best way. Early in the first quarter, Diggs ran an out and up in sync with Maye. Maye rolled to his right, launched it down the sideline, and Diggs went up to snag it right over Jets defensive back Quantez Stiggers. It might not have been exactly Randy Moss, but it earned the comparisons. Diggs even joked afterward, saying he was feeling like Austin Hooper and giving his teammate credit for a great catch earlier this year. But make no mistake, Diggs wasn't just making a pretty play. He was dominating. He got 6 targets, caught all 6, led both teams with 101 yards, and was on the receiving end of one of Maye's 5 passing touchdowns. With the receiver room depleted, Kayshon Boutte ruled out and Hollins on IR, Diggs was one of plenty of Patriots who feasted in their 13th win of the year. Maye put together another MVP caliber clinic and spread the ball around, but Diggs was the headliner. After the game, Diggs told NFL Network that Maye surprised all of them. He said he knew Maye was going to be good, but didn't know he was going to be this good, and that he's super proud of him. And the numbers back it up. In his first season in New England, Diggs leads the team in receptions, 82, and receiving yards, 970, and he's already unlocked 2 statistical contract incentives in back-to-back wins. But I loved Maye's response when he got asked about those incentives. He brushed it off, then laughed and said he'll make sure to tell Diggs he needs to buy him dinner. Because they're not looking to hunt up incentives, they're looking to hunt up wins. That's the mindset you want. That's locker room chemistry. That's the work isn't done energy. So here we are. A roster shuffle that hints at reinforcements. A division rival's superstar situation that could spark a league-wide bidding war. A veteran receiver who turned into a culture piece you don't want to lose, and a Maye to Diggs connection that's starting to feel like a real problem for defenses. Be honest, what's the biggest swing factor for this Patriots team? Getting healthier at the right time, making one bold offseason strike, or watching Maye keep leveling up in real time? If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit like, subscribe for daily Patriots content, and comment your take. Would you go all in for Crosby if the door opens, or keep building and trust the Patriot way?